It's kind of a cloudy, wet day here in Chicago today, but that kind of fits my mood. I've been meaning to do an update for you guys. I just haven't been real happy and don't like to do updates when I'm not real positive. But hey, I told you earlier on this, you'd see the good, bad, and the ugly, and I need you to get you some updates on what's been going on. So here we go. So again, hi everyone. As always, I hope everyone is doing well. I do owe you an update though from my last video. As you know, we were about to leave on vacation, which we did. I am glad that I was able to get away and do some vacation, even though it wasn't quite the way or ended up the way I had hoped it would end up. But we did go and we did have some good times. So let me start with that. We did end up, we flew to Vegas and then drove to Zion National Park as planned. And Zion is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous national park. And as you can see from some of the pictures here, it's gorgeous. The weather was perfect. Sunny days, and just a great place to be. Highly recommend it as a trip. The only downsides were what kind of led up to that to the trip a few days before the trip. Oh, actually a while before the trip. A couple weeks before the trip, I started getting some sciatic pain down my leg, and it wasn't so much pain as it was more numbness down my left leg. So I've been limping for a while with this numbness. Not really too concerned because I could still walk and whatever, and able to go on doing hikes and that kind of stuff. But a couple days before, it actually started turning out to be more painful, and as a matter of fact, 2 nights before we left, it was so painful. The only way I can describe it is searing hot pokers being jammed down my entire leg, down to my foot. Only way I can best describe it. Kept me up at night, could not sleep. Nothing I would do could solve that pain. Walking around seemed to help maybe a little bit, but still had pain throughout the day. Ended up going to a doctor who prescribed some muscle relaxant and pain medication. Unfortunately, that really did nothing. Neither of those really helped. But we ended up going on the trip anyway, but nights were really difficult for me. Anytime I would lie down, the searing, severe sciatic pain was there. It was very difficult to sleep while I was there. But again, when I would get up in the morning, if I started moving around, it just sort of seemed to turn to numbness. I was limping a lot, but we were able to go on a couple of short hikes. We did one fairly strenuous one, which was nice, but wasn't what I had originally planned. And again, still glad we went and had a great time, but it kind of put a damper on the hiking piece and really what we wanted to do when we were there. Add to that, the very last night in Zion, I also became violently ill. Again, some kind of, whether it's the tumors or what, I have no idea, but became violently ill with vomiting and diarrhea. And so my last night in Zion was not a pleasant one. Then got in the car and drove back to Las Vegas, where we spent 2 nights in Vegas. We did have a very nice dinner planned for that first night. Unfortunately, I canceled that simply because I was so sick the night before. I really wasn't up to eating anything that first day. But the second day we were there, we did. I felt much better. We ate well, and I lost money, which is what you do in Vegas, right? So the last few days were okay. Still having major difficulties while there with the sciatic pain, and also the other back pain that would come and go, that actually had landed me in the ER about a month before. So all in all, again, glad we went, had a good time despite the time in pain and some sickness. Very glad I was able to get away. Glad that I wasn't on any chemo at the time to make me feel even worse. So all in all, it was a good thing. When we got back on Saturday, I knew I had scans on Monday to see if the chemo, the gemcitabine I've been on, was going to be working. And so went in Monday, had those scans. And I get a copy of my disc the same day, even though there's no final report or anything. And when I got home, I took a look at the discs, and I already knew that the gemcitabine wasn't working. I could tell tumors had grown. There were a lot more tumors there. As a matter of fact, it was an interesting thing. I had the CT scan in a brand new CT scanner that was just installed there, and it actually can look at nodules, specifically it did in the lungs, and point and can automatically circle what are nodules. And one of the images had that, and I now have well over 100 nodules, tumors in my lungs right now, along with, I could tell that the ones on the liver had grown also. So I knew I was going to get not the greatest news that I was expecting when I met with my oncologist. I had a call with him, and sure enough, yes, not only had the tumors grown and more tumors were there, but we also now realize what the source of the severe back pain that landed me in the ER. There's also tumors on my right kidney. So I now have metastatic disease in my lungs, my liver, and on my kidney. We're not sure what's going on with that sciatic pain and the back pain, the other back pain that I've had. So this Wednesday, we are going to have MRIs done to see if there's any disease in my spine. I am hopeful it's just bulged discs and not disease, but we will move from there if that's the case. So gemcitabine didn't work. We've stopped that. I haven't been on chemo now in about 3 weeks, or a little over 3 weeks. After the MRIs on Wednesday, Thursday, I will be starting a new chemo. I will be going on Yondelis. Yondelis seems to have good results in a lot of people. I am hoping that this will be the one that has good results for me. It's going to be an interesting process because Yondelis is infused over a 24-hour period. So what they do is they hook you up to a pump and send you home. And you just sit there for 24 hours while this stuff is infused in your body. And then you go back the next day to have the pump removed. So definitely a different process. Not sure. I'm told that many people tolerate this well. I know some people do. I also know some people, Yondelis can kick their butt. So for me, we're going to have to wait and see how I handle this. I am hopeful that I'm going to handle it well, and that side effects will be minimal at best. But in any case, we're moving on to the next step. And if this doesn't work, then we'll move on to the next step. I don't want anyone to get the impression that even though I'm a bit down, and yes, I knowing that there's so many tumors in me, and at this point nothing is candidate for surgery, or nobody would do surgery right now simply because there's so much in me, that this isn't me saying, well, that's it, or giving up, because there's always options, and there's so many more options that can be tried and will be tried if this doesn't work. I'm still going to be that guy. I want to be that miracle guy. Maybe we just haven't found the drug yet that's going to be the miracle guy that has all this disease just disappear. And I'm still hopeful that that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, let's just say that's going to happen at some point. But right now, it's not the case. And so we're dealing with pain, we're dealing with stuff, and trying to figure out how to manage all that until some changes are made, some positive changes are made here. Actually, this past Saturday, I was supposed to be walking in the Cure Sarcoma run walk here in Chicago to raise money for curing sarcomas. And unfortunately, I was in the ER instead, because again, I woke up with very severe back pain. Clearly was my kidney. They took another CT, and yeah, basically they told me, well, you got a lot of tumors in your body that could be causing you pain, so you just gotta manage the pain. So that's what I'm learning to do right now, is trying to figure out what I need to do to manage the pain, to get through each day. I can't do as much as I used to do. I'm tired. I find it strange that even though I haven't been on any chemo for over 3 weeks, I have absolutely no taste buds whatsoever. Everything tastes terrible to me right now, which is kind of a bummer. I'd like to eat, but nothing tastes right. I'm hoping that will change soon too. So despite the pain and not being able to eat well, or not being able to taste at least, hopefully something will change soon. But again, staying positive, going to get through this. We'll just consider this another bump in the road, as all these seem to be, and we'll go from there. What I'd like to do is, once I get through a cycle of Yondelis, I'll actually try to do some filming of that to show you what the process is with this take-home pump pack, or whatever it's going to be. I don't know about it yet, but we'll show you that. I think that might be kind of interesting. Just looking forward to the holidays coming up. My entire family, my siblings, and a bunch of their kids are going to be here in Chicago to spend Thanksgiving together. And so what I'm really hopeful for is that I'm not feeling bad, and that I will be able to eat, because last Thanksgiving I wasn't able to really partake in. So hoping this will be different, and that side effects from Yondelis will be minimal. But in any case, once again, hope you all are doing well. This has been a bad couple of weeks, not the best news that I've wanted to hear, but we continue to fight, we continue to move forward, and we continue to be positive that we are going to eradicate this stupid disease, and get back on with life, because that's what it's all about. I wish you all a great day, and thank you for watching.